Let's sign ourselves in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and
Son,
of the Holy
Holy
Spirit.
Spirit.
Amen. Our Father, we thank and praise you for making it possible for us to log in today evening for this session on the Bible study with AI. We thank you for helping us with our speakers for today, Derek D'Souza and Jerson Nazareth. Fill them with your Holy Spirit, Lord. You have said that where two or three are gathered in your name, you will be there in our midst, Lord. Yes, in this meeting room, Lord, we ask you to be present. We want your precious blood on each one of us, Lord. Open our hearts and mind so that we know how to best use your technology in spreading your word to all, Lord. We always seek your presence of the Holy Spirit in our heart, mind, soul, and in all that we do, Lord, so that it's only your word and your word which gets spread through each one of us. We make this prayer through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. It's midweek, and everyone's come after a long day. So I pray that this will be fruitful in helping us all serve the Lord more effectively. So, just to start with a quick introduction, I'm Derek D'Souza, and Justin Nazareth is here, who's my co-host. Justin, I can't see your video. Probably it's my connection. Yeah, now I can see you. Yeah, so both of us are techies with quite a few years under our belt, and we both of us love to use technology. Slideshow, slideshow. I
You're
can't.
speaking, so I just pinned you. That's fine.
Oh, you pinned
It's
me.
okay.
Okay, okay,
Mm.
okay. So both of us have been in technology for the last few decades, and we love using technology and seeing how we can use it in faith related matters in areas of study or service. I'm part of the Missionary Families of Christ community in Pune, and Jason is part of the Opus Dei community in Goa. And together, we also have a YouTube channel called Within Our Sacred Walls, which discusses uh, the Catholic faith and try to touch on topics which are not regularly covered. So that's about us. So let's get started. So why are we here? Yeah, let's get the slide. I can't see the slide.
Yep. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, sorry. It popped off on my other screen. I had, yeah. So the whole objective of this webinar is to give all the participants an opportunity to see how we can use AI. You know, it's a hands-on approach to it, and to really see from different perspectives, the different most of us are serving in different areas, different communities, and we have different charisms and different needs. And we're trying to see to give you ideas. We'll try to cover use cases which are common to all, and from there also try to help spark ideas as to how they can use these tools more effectively. In whatever area of service or study they are doing. We'll try to show you how you can save time and distill information and do research in such a way that you can uh, what is it delegate the grunt work to AI, and you focus on the pastoral and spiritual side of things. So mainly our focus is not about technology, but it's faith based, but using technology as a tool, not as the end. So yeah. Yeah, just Yeah. So what is webinar not about? It's not a theological debate about AI. It's not like, is AI good or is AI evil, or uh, what are the dangers of AI? No, we're trying to get people to use whatever is freely available. So whatever we show will be majorly free. Wherever there's a paid tool that comes into picture, we'll specifically tell you, so okay, if you want to try out something like this, it's going to cost, and so on. And yeah, so we're not going to get into philosophical and theological aspects of from AI's perspective. We never ask AI all those questions. We get AI to do the work of doing the grunt work for us. Yeah, we'll try to keep it because Jason and I are technical people. There's a chance we are very aware that we may speak jargon, so we will keep each other in check as we speak, so that we're not throwing out any jargon and we're talking in a layperson's.
And if we both end up talking jargon, feel free.
Yeah,
Uh,
feel free to correct us, please, and we'll course correct. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
So in the Google form that we put out, so we asked a few questions, and based on the questions, these are the needs. So at the top of the list is talk preparation and research and creating content. We can see the first, literally, most of it is on content creation, whether it's lesson planning or question creation, scripture cross referencing, and so on. Most of it is that, little bit is there on planning and admin. So most of it is on content creation, and we'll focus on that. Surprising part is we found only 5% who actively use AI. Rest have just tried it out, some have not tried it out, and so on. So hopefully we'll be able to give you good insights into how to use it. Yeah, so just to take you through what this webinar will be, we'll start with the introduction. What's AI? Understanding it, understanding what's the toolkit we are using, what are the tools we are using, the freely available tools we are using. Then we'll dive deep into a few of them and show you hands-on what you can do. And then we have something called as the mini app. It's going to be something which is completely unexpected for you all, because apps would be like something outside, but we'll show you how you can put it right in the heart of your content delivery.
And you don't need to be a developer or have
You
any
don't need to be a
background
dev.
in
You
coding.
don't need to be and I will show you different examples and show you how long it took to create that, and I will tell you how long it used to take a couple of years back for someone to actually code it. So when we come to that, we'll see it. Okay. So what is AI? So AI is just another technology. It's like your computers getting a little more smarter than they were before. Uh, Being able to reason in a sense of being able to put together things that were not possible. So what you can think of in terms of AI, forget about the technical definition. Okay, how you and me have to see it from our perspective of people who are working for the Lord, is we see AI is our research assistant, writing partner, design helper, and organizer. So it's like a God-given gift that we are getting. All of us are getting like a assistants with multiple capabilities who will do the job for us. Laborers are few in the vineyard, so having additional tools definitely helps us. So yeah.
And so one thing to remember is that we in the slide that said what AI is not, it's not about a debate, but I'll just say something very little is that we've kind of gone past the stage of, should we use AI or should we not use AI, especially if you have kids, right? So this is use of AI is trending, and it's only a matter of time before uh, it's part of it's everywhere in offices and schools and everything. So it's so what we do need to do is understand how it works, learn how to use it. You'll use it as a tool, and use it in a responsible way, and then teach our kids to also use it in a responsible way. So I think that is where Derek and I are in terms of that. That's where our position is. Um, yeah.
Yeah, is first of all to use the tools and then to navigate through. So if you're going to see how we work with AI is like this. AI is our assistant. So we define the objectives, we guide the process. Okay, we make the ultimate decisions and given our perspective, and then we let AI do all the grunt work. So whatever we do with AI has a bit of our personality in it, our opinions, our viewpoints, our life experiences, and that gives us the ability to create very unique content, which is actually true to our nature. So it's infused with our personality in it. So we'll show you how to do that, because most of us, when we are creating content or giving a talk, we give our life experiences, we share things that we have learned and we have experienced, and so it becomes very personal. So the same talk given by two different people will have variations because of their inputs that you put in. So the same way, when we use AI, we can infuse these life experiences and make it personalized. Yeah. So basically, you create an AI assist. So our job is to start with prayer and discernment, with as we do with everything, whether AI was existing or not. We would start with prayer and discernment about which topic, who is our target audience, and what are the actions to take, what events we want to do, what content we have to create, everything. So that is there. Secondly, we provide ideas based on which we ask AI to expand on. So we give the direction for it. Then wherever our personal stories are there, our testimonials are there, we incorporate it and we ask AI to slot it properly into the right sections. So it has that. That's where you put the thing. And then finally, of course, with everything to do with AI, whether you're doing content or everything, we always review and we make the final decision to go ahead with something or keep tweaking it till we feel like, yes, this is what it is. And as we pray, we ask for the Holy Spirit to guide us so that we come to the right we know when to stop and when to keep iterating till we come to the final. So
One of
yeah.
I'd like to bring up one of the myths of using AI that many people have is that it's going to make you lazy, and it's going to make you dysfunctional and things like that. And it could be true if it's not used responsibly. But I will say, as a heavy AI user in the world of software, and Derek, I'm sure, can do the same. I've been thinking a lot more with AI than before AI, in terms of strategy, in terms of like planning, in terms of problem solving. Like it has shot up. Like I do a lot more thinking now than I used to do before, because more things are possible. I can increase the quality and quantity of output, whatever that thing is. And so I feel there's a responsibility for me to do a better job. So I just wanted to bring up that myth.
Yeah. And if you're not careful, you can get burnt out because AI can throw
Yeah.
things at you, and so the quest should not be for productivity. The
Yes,
quest should
true.
be for using these tools
It can
for the
easily be
productivity.
abused. It can be addictive, and so you have to be. That's why I say use it responsibly. But I will say that it does not make you doesn't necessarily make you lazy. This is all we're going to cover today.
No, 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 not all of this. But we just put the slide out. We'll be sharing the slide deck later. You'll get to see this list, and there are hyperlinks for each one of them, so you can go and actually check them out. So just these are the various categories, the different types of tasks that we can do, and what are the tools for that. You can write, create images, create videos, create slides, do a lot of research, do audio transcription, and a whole bunch of things. So there are tools. We will largely, because Google Gemini has addresses a lot of these needs. We thought we'll focus mainly on Google Gemini. Not that it is our recommended this. It's a very good tool, very good set of tools. So we would recommend that. It's free and it's effective, and it covers a lot of needs. So we'll use that one set instead of going back and forth with multiple tools and multiple websites. So
And
so that
most people already have a
Google.
Gmail account. Also, most people are already using a lot of the Google tools like Gmail and Sheets and Docs and
Docs and
Slides
so
and
on.
all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Google Drive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and then of course then we will be using OpenAI and a few more other tools, and we will mention it why we are using it at that point of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason, you want
All
to
right, sure. So I've noticed when I use AI, I've kind of noticed patterns, and there are some good patterns and bad patterns, and these are patterns of how people use AI. And so I'd like to bring up three patterns. The first one is a bad pattern, is a pattern that I would say one should not use. And that is the pattern that would end up making someone actually lazy and not and you end up not using your brain as much as much as you could. And then two other patterns: the 20 questions pattern, which I use a lot. I use it all the time. And then the brainstorming pattern. And we'll go into detail and examples of how these work. So so let's start with the first one, right? So this is like a big red flag. Do not use this method, right? And this is what most people do, right? So let's start with the example down here. So it's like you can ask, what are the key themes in the Sermon on the Mount, right? And then AI gives you the theme list, and then you could say, create a lesson plan on blessed are the merciful, and then AI gives you, so it's question and then answer, which is the output, right? Whatever you want, or write a talk about whatever, right? So this is a bad pattern. It's like an anti-pattern. It's something you shouldn't do. So one thing is it's an over reliance on AI, right? Who's actually doing the work? Like AI is doing the work. What have you contributed? So let's say, for example, in this number three, right? Create a lesson plan on blessed are the merciful. What is your contribution to that? Like nothing, right? All you've done is put 6 or 7 words on the screen, and then AI has done the rest, right? And if 5 people use the same tool, let's say ChatGPT, and ask a very similar question, write a lesson plan, write me a lesson, create a lesson, whatever. Use very similar words, but on the same topic, they're going to get very similar responses from AI, right? So that is there's nothing original about it. There's nothing creative about it. There's nothing, even I would even say like maybe even Holy Spirit inspired about this, because your contribution is next to nothing, right? And in the free AI world, it should be the equivalent of you delegating something to someone else and then them taking all the credit for it, right? If someone else writes a talk, it's like, who's written the talk? Not you, someone else. But the problem is nowadays, especially in school, a lot of people use this technique and then they take credit for doing it themselves, when in reality they haven't done anything, right? So, and over time the value of this is also going to go down, right? So a well-written essay today has much less value than a well-written essay 3 or 4 years ago, right? All things being equal. Now, of course, it could still be a very personal essay, and so there are exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, it doesn't have as much value. So let's talk about this 20 questions pattern. Now, this is not something. This is my opinion, my method. I use this a lot. So if you actually look this up, you won't really find anything. But what or you might find variations of this. But the idea here is, you can say something like, I'm preparing a talk on the Sermon on the Mount, and I want to be truly original. Please ask me 20 questions to understand my unique perspective on that topic. Okay, so now this is slightly different. This is, you do want to prepare a talk on a topic like Sermon on the Mount, but you want AI to ask you some really thought-provoking questions, right? So that's different. So and you'd be surprised, over time I found that the questions that AI asks you, is it just gets better and better, and you really have to think. And so it does give you the questions, and we'll show you an example. And then take your time, right? What I do is, and we'll show you examples of that as well. Instead of typing it out, my typing speed is okay, it's decent, but I can speak faster than I can type, and most people can do the same. And we'll show you some ways of how you can convert voice into text. And we being from India, it used to be a problem. The computer couldn't understand our accent, but it's gotten a lot better, and now it's next to 100% accuracy. So yeah, so then I take my time and answer the question. Sometimes I go for a walk. This is a wonderful thing. You can go for a walk and have the 20 questions in front of you, maybe on the phone, and then take your time. Sometimes I spend an hour. Uh, so I get my exercise, I get sunshine, and I'm really brain getting my opinions, and it's coming out of me. The 20 questions are coming out of me. And then once you have that ready, right, then you say, now generate a talk outline that integrates all my responses, right? You give it all the responses, and then it comes back with an essay, which is, now that's kind of different, right? It's a lot more what you want to say. So it embodies your specific insights and voice. Okay, so that's the 20 questions pattern. And does it have to be 20? It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 50, it could be whatever you like, right? I like to 20 questions is a fun game. So sometimes what I do is I make 20 simple yes no questions, right? Just yes or no. So that's another variation of this. Another variation of this, and I wouldn't suggest this for most people, but you could do this, is you answer one at a time. Because what happens is, if it gives you 20 questions to answer versus it gives you one question, you answer it, then based on your response, the next question might be very different, compared to if you had 20 questions, right? So, for example, let's say Sermon on the Mount. Let's say, for example, I wanted to explore this from the, and I'm just saying it from the psychological perspective. Let's say, okay, I want the talk to be on the psychological perspective. If I just ask AI to give me 20 questions, the 20 questions are going to be about Bible study. It's going to be about history. It's going to be about just lots of different topics. While on the other hand, if the first question is what do you what specifically about the Sermon on the Mount strikes you, and I say, like, I'm very fascinated by how it psychologically affects people, or something like that. Now the next question is going to be closer to what I want, right? It's going to be based on my response. So that's another variation. It's 20 questions, but one question at a time. Right?
Yeah, and to add to it here is what we have learned over a period of time is to get these AI tools to narrow down to the lane that you want them, instead of them taking you in all direction. Which they have, the AIs have the knowledge of the whole world and with them, so they can ask you from any perspective, and you can get lost and get distracted. So this helps narrow it to
Yep.
exactly what you want.
Right. Yeah. Now, what if you don't really you want to give a talk about, let's say, the Sermon on the Mount, but you don't have or whatever the topic is, right? but you don't have you don't really know what angle to go at it, right? It's like, it's like, okay, I want to, my talk is supposed to be about Sermon on the Mount, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, I could do a general Bible study. I could read the verse, and then I could just go on and start explaining it, do an exegesis of it. And sure, you could do that if you're a Bible scholar, have at it. But maybe you want to come at it at a very particular angle, and you need inspiration, right? You need, like, oh, I need ideas, right? So that's the brainstorming approach.
Yeah, and
Um,
just to add here that there are several. I'm sure everyone has faces several instances where someone comes to you and says, "Hey, can you take this talk next week?
mm,
So and so was
yeah,
supposed to take a talk and they're not available. Can you fill in?"
yeah,
And what is the topic about? Actually, you decide the topic. The ball is
yes.
on your court, and that's when you this next approach will help you out.
Or even if you have the outline, right? If you have the outline of the talk, it's like you got to flesh it out and you got to make it your own, and that kind of a thing. And most people would do that, and they might have like a testimony here and there to add in or whatever. But it's not really different. It's not really unique, right? It's like, if you listen to lots of people's talks, they're kind of the same. If they I'm talking about the standardized talks, like a CLS, or I forget, CLS, right? Those kinds of set talks that are done all the time.
Repeatedly, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So repeatedly, you'll see like they're kind of variations of the same thing, but they don't really, there's no real unique aspect to it, right? So this is where the next topic comes in, the next pattern, which is the brainstorm pattern, right? So this could be something. This could look something like this. So you say, generate 10 distinct themes or angles for a talk on the Sermon on the Mount, right? That's what you have to give the talk on. Give me 10 distinct themes. Okay, so then it gives you these perspectives, and then it's like, okay, I like 1, 5, and 8. Okay, so now you're narrowing it down. So you say, like, I there's something about these I like, right? And so AI is really good at that. It's going to take the 1, 5, and the 8, and it's going to think, quote unquote, and it's going to say, like, oh, what do these things have in common? Oh, okay, I think this person likes this thing or that thing or whatever, and then it will give you maybe more suggestions, right? It'll say, oh, I'm glad you like that. It seems like you like, seems like this is the angle you want to go in. Maybe try, and it might give you another 10. Or you could even ask, say, expand on, I like 1, 5, and 8. Give me 10 more related to that, or something like that, right? So now you're getting a lot of ideas, right? You're getting a lot of ideas. You're saying, okay, I like this part about 1 and this part about 5, and there's this pattern that I really like, and so you're going back and forth, and your brain is being activated. Right? The creative side, I forget if it's left brain, I think, gets activated. Right? You're thinking, you're coming up with ideas, you're dreaming, all of this is good stuff, right? And it's your brain is being activated. So that's a very, very healthy approach of coming up with an idea. Then once you've zoned in on the exact topic that you want and the angle that you want, then you can go back to the 20 questions approach, the previous thing I mentioned, and say, I want to talk about Sermon on the Mount, but I want to focus on this particular angle, which you would now know because you've gone through this exercise, right? And then you'll get the 20 questions, you'll answer the 20 questions, and then just, can you imagine the quality of the talk or the lecture or whatever, Bible study course or whatever you're doing? Can you imagine the quality and the subjectivity of that? Like how much it is from you. And so these are things that were never possible before, right? And so I use this all the time, right? For lesson planning, I do a lot of teaching, so I use this for lesson planning a lot. I don't give many talks. Webinars, for this webinar, for example, I used all of these techniques a lot, right? So very, very useful techniques. All right, so now we're getting into the little more concrete side of things. Derek, you want to?
Yeah. So now that we've seen a few approaches, so now we're coming down to the tools that we're going to use. So as I said earlier, we're going to focus mainly on Google Gemini because it has a whole suite of tools and we don't have to jump around. So as you can see, it can create a whole bunch of content. It can let you research. It can let you create do transcriptions, videos, and so on. So there's lot of capability out there in one platform. So instead of trying 20 different tools, you can stay in this. Now in they have a very generous free plan, and with all things AI, free is only limited period. So it's free for now. Later, now it's generous. Probably later it'll become less generous. So try it out. So they have
Or it will be more generous. That's the other thing. As
maybe
these
a
things
more
get
generous. Yeah,
as it gets cheaper to produce these things, they give a lot more for less.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
so so the things that we have mentioned over there, Gemini Flash 2.5 and Gemini 2.5 Pro, they are called models. Okay, so what you can understand from a AI model is, you can say they are different AI assistants with different capabilities. Okay, so there are a few who you could say like Gemini 2.5 Flash. The Flash ones are like young assistants who have a lot of energy. They run around, but they make mistakes. Okay, and the 2.5 Pro are what do you say, more heavier. They go slower, but they give you solid responses and solid output. And but they are the capacity, how much you can use them is in the free plan is limited. So you when we use the free, we balance between the two. We see what are the light tasks, we give it to Flash, and what are the deep reasoning intense tasks, we give it to Pro. And that's something which you will get when you start using it, over a period of time. Yeah, and then they Google also has something called as VO3 for video generation, which costs money, so you can't use it for free at all. But because we have a pro plan, I think we will show you a video that was generated by us, which you can see what it is. So maybe at the time of an event, and suppose you have an event, a conference or something like that, and you got a budget for it for creating certain promotional material, or certain in the content you want to add a video, and you want a very specific video, very tuned to the topic you have. Then you could use something like Google and generate that video. So you can pay as you go, so it's not that you have to pay
yeah,
monthly for these things.
subscription
So
month, yeah.
yeah.
And these would work out to a lot cheaper than probably than getting an expert to do it or something like that, right? We're talking like less than 2,000 rupees a month, right? So again, if you're going to pay that every month, it could amount to a lot unless you're into the working on these kinds of things full time, in which case maybe you can justify that. Otherwise, pay for a month, get all the benefits, and then unsubscribe. So you don't have to,
Yeah.
and then 2,000 is nothing if you're preparing for a
If you're
conference.
preparing for a event and you have a budget, then
Yeah,
people can pool in together, because there are multiple
yeah,
people working as a team in a ministry or a community. Can do that.
yeah.
We'll show
Cool.
you a few demos of the. I think Justin will take you through the three patterns he explained, and he'll show you exactly how it pans out. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are actual Gemini chats, and we went with the free version just to show you what it looks like. And so I'll click on this, and we'll check it out. Okay, so this first one here so this is Gemini, and I'm on the pro plan, but this was used by Gemini Flash, so created with 2.5 Flash. Okay. And so here, all I have is this question answer one, right? The one which we do not recommend. I want to write a talk about the parable of the prodigal son, for example, right? And then this is what it gives. I can help you with that, and then here's a draft outline. Let me know if you'd like to expand on a specific topic, and it gives you this thing which 4 years ago, 5 years ago, this would have been like, oh wow, this is a masterpiece. Today it has very little value, right? This has very, very little value, even though it looks decent, right? But there's nothing personal about it, right? There's nothing. I haven't done any work uh, to produce this thing, right? If someone else requests something similar, they're going to get a very similar result, right? And also, just from an ethical perspective, it's you really haven't worked hard on that, right? So this is not recommended. Now for these other ones, it kind of looks like it's also very similar. I want to write a talk about the parable of the prodigal son, but there is a hidden what is called a gem, and I'll show you what that looks like. That has actually wait, let me just show it over here.
So a gem is
Gemini.
like you have given it instructions ahead, like you have an employee and you give them an induction, say, hey, this is the way our company works, and these are the things. This thing can be found here, and this is there, and this is the way we do things. So it already knows. So when you give that employee an instruction, that uh, person already knows the background, and you don't have to say much, but it'll that person will do it according to whatever you have given training on. So the gem that we have is called a system instruction, and we can create multiple types of system instructions. So this one which Justin going to show you, we have created the 20 questions as a system
Yeah.
instruction. He'll show you what the instructions are. Yeah.
So this is what it looks like, right? So it's quite a long prompt, and it says generate 20 thought-provoking questions. And we're going to provide this for everyone, this exact same thing. And it just talks about, it has to be faithful to the Catholic teaching. If you're citing scripture, use Catholic translations, all of that, right? This is what the output should be. Is the Gem Manager part of Google Gemini? Yes, it is. So if you go to and so this version, so I have two versions, one at the back, one in the front. The one at the back is the Pro version, and the one in the front is the free version. And so in the free version, I can, if you log into gemini.google.com, on the left side you can see gems, and you can explore gems. And here you have some pre-made by Google, but these are my gems. So I can create a new gem, you can edit an existing gem, and if I want to use it, I can just click on that, and then it opens up a chat, and I can actually start typing in here. And the benefit of using a gem is you don't have to type in all of that, generate 20 questions and every single time, right? And another use case for gems is you can have one for the different areas of responsibility that you have, right? Can we convert an existing gem into a chat? Yeah, I mean,
Existing chat into a gem.
Existing chat to a gem. Yeah, you could just copy paste. You can copy paste and create a gem, right? So you can just copy that text, whatever the instructions are, and then put it in here, right? So the other good use case for a gem is
Another one question.
Sure.
I recall the last session which you had on ChatGPT. You had given a prompt which baptized ChatGPT to give Catholic content.
Yeah. Those were early days when it was. Yeah. Then there was something called a custom GPTs. I think last year I showed you.
Yes.
So this is like a custom GPT.
Same thing.
Yeah. So something is required here. Similar sort of a prompt or something would be required to baptize.
So we don't need to. They're already baptized. All these. So one of the things is it used to be a lot more work before. Like now it's a lot more. It doesn't really care if you just say. All you have to do is say. You don't need to have. I remember that Catholic Dan type prompt, and you had to you had to really Presbyterian style, like just drill it into get them redundant. You have to really, now it's like you can just say it must all content must be faithful to Catholic teaching. That's enough. You don't need anything.
That's enough. Joseph, just a point, sorry, Justin, to interrupt. Joseph, can you share your the invite for your WhatsApp group in the chat, so that all the material for this, the prompts list and everything, we'll be sharing in the group. So if you can share that link in the chat, so people can join in, and we can share it post this, the recording and everything else, the other resources that come with it.
Yes. I'll do that now.
Yeah. Thanks.
We're going to provide some PDFs which have all of this text, so you don't have to worry about that, right? So, and these are just examples. You can make your own gems, what are called, right? So what I was saying is, like, you can have this one for each area of responsibility, right? So let's say you have 2 or 3 ministries. Let's say you can have one gem for each. Maybe you can have one for your work, and that contains all your responsibilities at work and all of that. So then when you want to you want to chat about something about work, you don't have to give the whole history of everything, right? You can just start with, this is what I want, right? So it just saves you time to use these. All right. So yeah, so here's the one. So that was a gem. I showed you that whole thing, right? So then all I had to do is I had to say I want to write a talk about the exact same thing. I want to write a talk about the parable of the prodigal son, but this time this is what it gives me. Here are 20 thought-provoking questions, right? Look at this. What is your initial gut reaction or feeling when you hear or read the parable of the prodigal son? Which character in the parable do you most often identify with, and why? Right. So these are interesting questions, right? Very interesting, very subjective questions, right? Everyone would probably have a very uh, different answer. And if you're looking at it from a probability perspective, you've got 20 questions. Everyone on this earth is going to answer it differently. And then and so even if you use the same model, the same AI model, it's going to generate billions of different possible versions, variations of the same essay, right? But it becomes very unique. That's the important thing. So anyway, so it gives me these 20 questions, right? And you don't have to answer all 20. You could. Sometimes we've even said, give me 20 more questions. I got time. But yeah. So anyway, so here are my responses, right? So what I've done is I've just said here are my responses, and I copied these 20 questions, pasted them there, and then I just answered under that, right? So honestly, it makes me feel both comforted and a little uncomfortable because it reminds me how often I take God's love for granted, right? Then the next question, so does usually the older son, because I get frustrated when I see people mess up and then get welcomed back like nothing happened, and so on. So I've gone ahead. So this takes time, right? So take your time. This is the hard work, right? This is the hard work that you put in, and this is what separates us from people who just delegate outsource all their thought to AI, and that would not be an ethical or responsible use of AI, right? So anyway, it does all of that. Uh, all the I've answered everything.
Just want to add to this bit. It's like what are we bringing to the table for the Lord? What are we offering? What are we sacrificing? So this is what we are doing. We are putting in our effort, our skill, our God-given talent into creating, rather than just getting
Yes.
AI to do it and then push it
Yeah.
down the line for someone else to consume. This is
Yeah.
we really investing in it. Yeah.
This is the hard work, right? This
Yeah.
is the hard work. And we can take our time to do that. And so once you've done that, you can see it's quite long, right? So once all of that is done, then it says this is what it gives, right? It says this is the user's response reveals several themes. So you can see a lot of themes over here, right? And then it gives you a draft, right? So now it's created a talk, right? Good evening, everyone. When we hear the parable of the prodigal son from Luke's gospel, blah blah blah, and it gives you a talk. But this talk you can see is a lot better than the first one, right? It's the same. You could say it's the same prompt, right? It's exactly the same. It started off in the same way, right? Both of these started off in the same way, right? Except this came up with this, this outline, which is there's nothing wrong about it, except there's nothing me about it. It's just a very,
Yeah.
yeah, very unoriginal. While this one here is very original. This is
Our voice, it's like
yeah,
whoever responses, their voice coming out, either the
yeah,
snippets of their opinions or their viewpoints or their
yeah.
experiences all show up in the content.
Yeah. So here's a talk. If you want, you could say, give me an outline or whatever, and then the rest is you can go back and forth. You can actually chat and say like I like the introduction needs to be stronger. I need a better hook maybe in the introduction, right? So you can go back and forth. You can say like okay, maybe I don't like this at all. Try a different approach. You could all of that. So depends on how hard you want to, how much time you want to spend.
And this is a base. So as Justin said, you can have 5 questions, or you could have 40 questions, or
Yeah,
you could have some mechanism of having a tiered approach. Like I'll start with 20
yeah,
questions, then add another 10 and 5 till I get it
yes,
perfect. Whatever, it
yeah,
could change on your preference, or it could be changing on the topic that you're going through.
yeah. And you can experiment, play around with it. Another thing I've tried once is instead of saying because these things could take really long, right? Answering all of these 20 questions could take really long. So what I've done sometimes is I've said, ask me 5 yes, no questions. Okay. So then it's just yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then, okay, now ask me 5 open questions or bigger length questions, right? And so that way, like it's less questions, but it is more specific to what I want to say, right? So you can play around, experiment with. The important thing is you need to think, you need to create, you need to experiment, you need to. It's hard work, right? You got to struggle to come up with these things, and that's the key here. Okay, and so let's look at a brainstorm example here. And we'll spend less time on this because we know the thing, right? So there's a prompt, there's a gem for that, and that will be provided. So here are 10 unique. So we said I want to write a talk for youth, and this is the other thing, right? It helps if you mention who's the target audience of the talk, right? On the Passion of Christ. Okay. So now it says here are 10 unique, non-generic angles for a talk to the youth, right? So you could say the passion as the ultimate hack, God's subversion of evil, right? Explore how God, through Christ's passion, didn't just overcome evil, but used the very instruments of evil, right? Maybe I don't like this. This is not so much for the youth. Silent witness, passion and mental health, cosmic tremors, impact on creation and the universe. Maybe I like 4, right? So anyway, I think I for this example I picked number 10. What did I pick? Yeah, 10. So for this one I picked 10. I said the passion and personal vocation, how Christ's sacrifice calls us to our own little passions. Explore how the passion is not just a historical event, but a living reality that calls each young person to embrace their own little passions. Right? I like this. I really like this. So I can say like I like number 10 because it is the most subjective and would make me share my personal journey. Expand on this idea and come up with a better title and short description. Right. So now it comes up with, you know, a better description because I've told it I like 10 and this is why I like it. So now it's come up with a nice little Gethsemane's in our own lives, daily sacrifice. I like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole thing, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go and follow the other 20 questions thing, right? So it's like I want to give a talk about this, about the prodigal, no, what did I say, the passion of Christ, but with this unique angle. Okay, so now ask me 20 questions about this unique angle that I want, not just Passion of Christ, which is a very broad topic, right? So you can see how it really narrows down and makes it very personal. Okay, cool. So the next topic is slide creation tools, and going to show you some free options and paid options. And this middle option here is cutting edge. It's very cutting edge. It's so cutting edge that this just released like this morning, like literally. And it's also very Goan in its name, right? Chat Zai is basically what it says over there. But I think it's a Chinese company. Okay, so I'm going to show you there's Markdown slides, there's Xi, and there's Gamma, right? So this slide that you're looking at right now is Gamma, and so there's a free tier which does some basic stuff, and then see they're looking at the Plus plan and the Pro plan. Again, for a conference, it's nothing, right? You're just paying for a month. You're paying 1,000 rupees for something like this, and you can create. And I'll do a brief demo on this slide deck exactly, right? And so you can definitely go for the paid one, and then these are free ones. So this one here, which we just experimented, and it's quite good and it's free. So I'm going to click on that, and this is what it looks like, right? So we said about a reflection on the parable of the prodigal son. What I did was I copied one of these things. I think this one. I just copied this and I said make a slide out of that, right? And it just came up with 3 slides. It's just a demo, but you can see that it's maybe not the best, but if I'm really, this one is not bad, right? And it's all 100% AI generated, right? I just just copy pasted that the talk, and I said create slides for this, and this is what it came up with. And the same thing, you can collaborate, go back and forth, and come up with slide ideas. Take your time. You can use the same approach, except you're saying like, I want to give me 20 questions. I want to create slides about this particular topic. So give me some suggestions on the outline of the slides and what that could look like, right? So you can use the same approach for slides, and then you could use something like this chat.z.ai, and it's free. You can sign up with a free account, and yeah, so you can use this. This also does other things. So the things we mentioned in Gemini, you can possibly also use it here. But if you click on AI slides, you just put in your prompt over
Topic,
here, create a presentation on whatever, and then it goes ahead and creates that, right? So very, very cool. Let me show you. So this one here is the most, I would say it's free. Well, yeah, it's free. It's free. It's free, and so it uses. So you can generate what are called Markdown slides. And let me show you what a Markdown slide is. It's actually very, very simple. I'm using a tool called Obsidian, which I will explain in more detail in a future slide. But so this is, you can start off with this document over here, right? It's called Obsidian. It's free. You can download it on any platform, and you can say this is my slide, right? So the prodigals are node or whatever, right? So Sermon on the Mount. Anyway, Passion of Christ, let's say. Okay, so now I can have like, this is my first slide. Okay, and the way it works is you put 3 dashes. Okay, 3 dashes, and then leave a good line, and then this is the second slide. Okay, and so you have this, and you can add an image, right? So I'm just using one of these things. So let's say Passion of Christ. I'm just using a quick tool, but basically you can get this from the internet or wherever, right? It doesn't matter where you get it from. So here I have, let's say I have a picture, right? And then so I have the first slide, I have the 3 dots, the second slide, and then I can add 3 dots, and then the third slide, maybe I can say a third slide, and then point 1, point 2, point 3, and you might be saying like, okay, this looks really bad and ugly and all of that, right? But it's the thing is it's very AI friendly, right? And so if you ask AI, give me a PPT slide or something like that, right? It's like it can do it probably, but it's not really trained really well to give you PowerPoint slides, right? But what it is trained to do is to give you what is called Markdown based files, right? So anything you see in like in this detail, this stuff over here is all Markdown. It's called Markdown. Markdown. It's a text format. Okay, so this is Markdown over here. You can make headings, for example, and so on. And then you can click on these 3 dots over here and then start presentation. And it gives you a very basic, just a very basic, you'll have to size it properly, right? So this is like a very basic, simple slide, right? So I'm not saying it solves all the problems, but it can solve like 90% of the problems if you're just doing a quick thing. If it's a bigger event, obviously, then you need something more professional. But this is a starting point, a quick thing. If you don't want to spend too much time creating slides, you can do this, right? So you can basically ask AI to generate Markdown slides.
Markdown. You can do it on this Prodigal Son.
Yeah. So you can just say create Markdown, or you can say MD slides on the topic of the Passion of Christ. Now this is I'm using a bad example. I'm using the question answer thing over there, like the one I said do not do, but I'm demonstrating something else. I'm demonstrating the Markdown slide. So in actuality, you would have to do it the right way, right? So let's do that, and you can see that It's going to take a while, but it'll show you, it'll give you these slides with the three dots in between, three dashes in between, and you can copy that, paste it into Gemini, and then
Into
away you go, right?
Obsidian, and
Into Obsidian, yeah. So this Markdown slides is free, and it's quick, and it's for your everyday type of needs. And then the other thing that is worth mentioning is about slides, right? So let's take a step back. 5-6 years ago, before AI, if you had to create slides, and most people are not, designers, artists, and on all of that. The simplest way to create a slide is to have bullet points, a title, bullet points, and an image, right? That is how you go. And the images, you go to Google Images, and you try and find an image that works best with whatever you're trying to express, and that works well. That worked well, but I think now we're at a time where we got to up our game, and we have access to tools right now that we didn't have before, and so the quality of slides has to significantly increase, right? And so one of the things is, um, it's easier to express using images than it is to express like with bullet points and text, right? So if I was trying to teach. So here you go. These are all slides. These three dash. These are all three dashes, right? Now you can see this, for example. Let's take this one, right? It's very it's the boring type, right? You've got the okay. Let's take this one, right? You've got the title, you've got some bullets, and maybe you could include an image, right? Again, not very interesting, and you can definitely come up with something better than this, right? So what you would do ideally is you would come up with, like, and you can ask AI, collaborate with AI, come up with, like, give me some ideas on an image, like a very custom image, very specific image that would express this best. And it could be a diagram, it could be it could be an image. And the good thing with generating images is you can pretty much get it to do whatever you want, right?
yeah,
So
there's a point here, Jason, to mention is why the Markdown format. Again, the simplicity of it is when you're actually focusing on the content, you want to remove friction of trying to figure out what is the right picture, what the right color, how to style it, how to place it. All
yes,
those kind of
good
things you
point.
get out of the way, you focus on the content. Once it's done, then we go to the next step of actually generating those images and having a rich
Yeah.
output to the this. Yeah.
So I copied that over here, and here you can see that now the thing, one of the downsides of this is it doesn't it only has like limited stuff, which is a good hint of don't have too much text. That's bad practice. But again, the thing is over here, for example, right? You want to talk about this, right? Let's say Judas Iscariot uh, 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 betraying Jesus with a kiss, right? Now you could go and find an image, and this is a bad example because there would be lots of good artists who have done really good paintings of this, and use that for sure if you have an option. But very often it might be something that is this whole thing actually is a really bad idea, because I'm pretty sure there are paintings of all these all these things, right? But let's say, for example, for sake of argument, right, um, uh, Peter denies this one, right? uh, let's say there is no one in the last 2000 years has decided to create any paintings on this thing. You can get AI to do that for you, right? So for image generation, we don't recommend using Gemini. Okay, you can do it, and it's not bad, but it's not as good as ChatGPT. Okay, so for this particular thing, I would suggest ChatGPT. So let's see what it looks like over here. So I'm going to say create an image that shows, right, shows the scene, um, while Jesus. Again, it doesn't have to be good English. You can, while Jesus was questioned, Peter's in a courtyard, three people identify, uh, right? So something like this, and uh, so it's going to create the image. And so the quality of this image with ChatGPT is far superior than the Gemini one. So that is one reason I would want to sway. In fact, let me copy the same thing and paste it over here, and then we can compare the two, right? I'll use Flash, and let's compare the two. So I'm using, you could say this is can be done with the, even though I'm using a pro account, you can use a free account for that, and then we'll just compare the quality of both these. So you can generate the image and then include it in the slides, right? So you can get away, you know, you don't need fancy animations, you don't need fancy tools or whatever. You can get by with something very simple, you know, just one line, like a title, maybe one line and an image, and that's it, right? You could focus on really good quality images, and and the text has to be very small, right? Because you've got something that expresses what you want to express. Uh, cool. So still working on it. So this one is done. So you can see it looks, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it, but it looks a little it looks artificial, right? And let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Cool. So we've done that. Now Gamma. So Gamma is the best tool of these three. It's meant for presentations. I would say if you want to professionally create presentations, I would use Gamma. So I'm going to exit this slideshow now and just show you what it looks like. So this is Gamma right now, and I'm on this slide over here. I don't know what number it is, but let's say I want to create a new slide in between these two, right? So I can say add a blank card, or I can add a card with AI, right? And I can click on that, and then it prompts me, you know, what do I want this slide to be about, and I can say like, and now I can uh, paste that thing over here, right? Oh, actually, wait, I think it's maybe this whole thing, right? So I'm just going to copy that and paste it in, paste it here, and right, and then you can choose magic, and it decides which template to use. So this is fully AI, and so we can watch that.
The
So
free tier also is quite good here in Gamma. I mean, at least you'll be able to try out quite a bit before
yeah,
and you'll get the clip. So you can get started with the free one, play around
yeah.
with it. Is it monthly credits or only 400 AI credits at the start and then
Only at
basic AI?
startup. It's only at startup.
But you can still
So
use it generally, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So you can get your
yeah,
hands on it, and whenever you need it, you have an event, you have something where you say it's worth paying. Fine, it's 400 if you're paying for a year. It's 500 if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
paying monthly. So
yeah.
it might be worth it paying 500 rupees if it's going to save you a lot of time, because we'll show you how easy. See there you go.
Right. So
So
it gives you something, and this is quite decent, right? I didn't
yeah,
spend any time with this. It looks pretty good, right? You can go in and edit this, and you can see that it came up with three options, right? You can choose, you can change the prompt, you can enhance the prompt, right? You can choose a style, right? So it has a lot of, it's crazy. It has lots and lots of things. You can you can ask it to do stuff. You can improve the writing, fix the grammar, translate. So let's say I want this to be in another language. That's the other thing. I don't know what it, maybe Hindi. I don't know if you're
yeah,
going on
Hindi
mission.
something we can
Yeah,
yeah, something which we can do.
you want to go on mission. You can, there you
Hindi,
go.
Hindi.
Just
Yeah.
translate. Right. So there you go. Done. So you can do a bunch of these things, be more specific, simplify language, shorter, longer, whatever, right? Make it more visual, add an image, or just general chat, right? So this is Gamma. It's the most powerful. Also, you know, if you're not using it full, if you're not doing something full time, may not be worth looking at it, but just showing you that that's an option. Look at this. This is the one which GPT came up with.
This
Far
looks,
superior.
yeah, it looks like a painting which someone has clicked
Yeah.
a picture of. It's pretty good.
As
Yeah,
opposed to, where's the other one? This one,
yeah,
right? So this one is way simpler. So the thing with ChatGPT is you're generally on a waiting list for a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever. So you'll have to, you know, have patience with it, but it's free. You can use it with a free ChatGPT. You don't need a paid account for that. All right. So that is all I have to say about slides. Anything you want to add?
No, we're good. I think we covered the nuances of that. So Markdown basically is for you want to quickly put something together without having the friction of setting up a sophisticated slides. So you can quickly get that done. And that you can put as input to ChatGPT and then get your images and then probably put it back into PowerPoint finally. If you want the whole PowerPoint thing to be, yeah, and I think one of the things you can show, Jerson, is this
Converting.
slideshow. Yeah, you can convert into PPT directly. The whole
You
our
can.
slideshow has been done in Gamma only, right? We are not used PowerPoint
Oh
at
yeah.
all. Just go
So here,
to
yeah. So here you can export it. Yeah, you
yeah
can export it to PDF, PowerPoint, slides,
slides.
PNGs, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
you can export it, share it, whatever, right? All the cards, custom range.
So
You
so
can
you
even
you can
publish it.
you can plan it and then you say, okay, my event is at so and so place where I may not have internet access, so I need a PPT, or I'm going to hand it out to somebody who's going to do it. So you can export it out as a PPT and pass it on, use it like a regular PPT after that. So that's the beauty of this tool.
Right. Okay. So Obsidian, right? So we spoke about Markdown, and Markdown is a very AI loves using Markdown, right? Because it can format, you can have bold and italics, everything that you can get on Microsoft Word or Google Docs, italics, numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, bullet points, tables, all of these things. Um, uh, it can generate using, very simple text. And I'll show you what that looks like. I'll open Obsidian again, right? And I'll start from the basics. So you have a title over there, and now there's nothing, right? It's just a fresh screen over here. So now I can do things like I need some content. Uh,
You could
okay,
just create a
just
list of bullet points for planning or something also if you want to take
okay.
something
So
some
just
other
like
topic.
this is my notes, for example, right? And you can have, like, let's say I want to have a title, right? So all you have to do with what Markdown is you type in the text, but you started with a hashtag, and that is heading 1, right?
Yeah, so one hash is H1, two hashes are H2, and so on. So whatever we do in Word, the
Yeah,
equivalent is just put that many number of hashes,
yeah.
and
So if I put
the
if I put 2 hashes in the beginning with a space, now this is heading 2, right? If I put 3 hashes before, this is heading 3, right? So you can see it's a lot easier now. If I want a list of things, right? So if you want a numbered list, you can just do 1 dot space, and you can see that it changes a bit, so it knows that you're doing a list, and then you could say 1, 2, whatever, right? So it does that. Then you could say like bullet points, and this is a dash. So you put a dash and you put a space, and then you could put 1, 2, 3, whatever, right?
so this is a tool that we normally use for taking notes and also as prep work for anything we're going to put in AI. So this kind of structure that we have, we could give it in free form to AI, it'll understand it. But
Mm.
sometimes we want to give a structure, we want to be very precise, we want to say show the nesting of ideas and concepts
Yeah,
one below the other. So this is a very easy way. You don't have to open Word, you don't have to format anything. It's very
yeah,
easy and it's perfectly portable with AI. So
AI.
AI will immediately know, okay, this is the way you intended to you have structured it. Yeah.
And so where we're going with this is not so much to actually type it in. I mean, you can learn that, and you can look it up. There are, Markdown reference sheets, how to use Markdown, whatever. There's lots of those types of things. But where it is really good at is you can copy something like this, right? And you can paste it in here, and it retains all of the typing. You type of the styling, right? So you can see, if you surround any text with double asterisks, that is bold, right? So you can see this is bold. This is also bold. So you're losing the. But if I remove that, you can see that only angle title is bold, and this is not. And the reason why is because it's surrounded with these double asterisks, right? So basically, I just copy pasted this from any AI, Chat GPT, Gemini, whatever you want. It uses Markdown, right? So this is a good place, and this is a database. So this is a thing I actually use. virtue program for kids. And so you can see, I'll show you some of the more complex versions, and you can go and look up YouTube videos on how to use Gemini, but it's like a database of many of these files, right? So you can see I've got virtues. Now I've got, lots of virtues over here. And if I go into any one of these, maybe not the main ones, but justice, let's say, right? So these are all virtues that are based on justice, right? So if I go to courtesy, for example, you can see this is information about courtesy. And then over here, I've got aliases. It's also called politeness. Parent virtue is justice, right? So I've got these properties here. And then down here, I also got this saint database, right? So these are various saints who have notable legacies of practicing this virtue of courtesy, right? So now I can go and click on one of these, and this takes me to another link. So these are all linked, right? So Saint Nicholas would be one of these. There are lots of saints over here, right? So Saint Nicholas, and then so it's a type is a saint, and it's the virtue is courtesy, feast day, born, died, all of that, and then there's something about Saint Nicholas. I could even have pictures over here, right? So you can have like this huge database over here. And the best part is this database is just a folder on the computer, right? And it's showing you there that that's the folder. I can open up the folder in on my computer here, which is here. And you can see it's just a folder. I can put it on a USB stick. I can put it on Google Drive, sync with all your devices. And it's just basically folders, right? Look at this. And these are all MD. These are Markdown files. These are all Markdown files. So get familiar with Markdown files because it's a very AI friendly format, right? And yeah, there are lots of things. There are extensions. It's free. That's the best part. This is free, no ads, nothing. Very powerful software, right? It has lots of features. Definitely can't get into the details of that, but want to mention Obsidian. It's a tool worth having if you're using AI a lot. All right, so already mentioned this. Traditional slides only had like text and an image, and now with AI assisted slides, you can get like these fancy type things, and you can get AI generated images, and it just makes it look a lot cleaner and better, right? So the other thing is the other way of improving slides. One is with images, AI generated images, and then the other is using videos, generating videos. Now this one, Veo 3 is the best that is out there right now, and it's by Google, and it came out recently, I think a month back. Unfortunately, this is not available on the free version of Google. So you have to have a paid version. And again, for most people, you don't have to generate a video. But if you're preparing for a conference or whatever, it's worth paying for that 1 month and generating. Now, from an AI perspective, it needs a lot of very powerful computers in order to create these videos. And so you can only generate 8 seconds of video. Okay. And so, but it also generates sound and video and everything. And it's supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah, Joseph, we're coming up next.
Yeah. Okay. So here's an example of a Veo 3. I said this is basically the crossing of the Red Sea. And now actually wait, Derek, are you using the Vivo app or the browser?
I'm using the app.
Okay. So using
Joseph is not using the. If you want him to try this link,
Yeah.
you can give him.
Yeah,
Give
so-
Joseph the link. He can open it, but he'll have to share the screen.
You'll have to share your screen, and so Joseph, I'll just share it with you, and so Joseph, just try it out, and then make sure it's playing, and then when you're ready, you can share your screen, and then we can. The reason I say that is with this Vivo, this meeting tool cannot share sound when I'm using the app.
yeah,
You can only
so-
share sound if you're using a browser. So we'll get back to this. But it shows the sound and and the image, right?
So one simple prompt to get that video. We'll show you what the prompt was, and you'll be able to see the video as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now we were thinking we could actually we could actually do it. Derek, you want to do this?
Yeah. We can take.
So Joseph, share your screen. If you share your screen, we can. I'll stop sharing, and then
Yeah.
if you can share and play that video. So Derek, in the meanwhile, you can open that gem,
Yeah.
the 20 questions gem, and
Just a moment. I'll just make sure.
Is it visible?
now it's loading. There it is. So yeah, so that's the prompt right there, right? So you can see overview drone 20 feet above, Israelites crossing the Red Sea, Egyptians chasing them, right? And so this is the video, 8 seconds, right? And yeah, just dismiss that, and yeah, so play that. I can't hear the sound actually. Can you hear the
No?
sound?
I can hear the sound, yeah.
No. We can't hear. Probably when you share
Yeah, when you share it,
when you
you
start
have to
sharing, there's an option tick mark or something which will say share sound.
share sound.
Okay.
This
Anyway, but as you can see, like this is you know, and you could play around with it, try out different prompts. You get even with the paid version, imagine you can only do 3 of these videos per day. You can only generate 3 videos per day. It's because it's very expensive uh, to yeah. I don't see the
yeah,
what I'll do is
if you,
how
we
about
have the link which we'll share. You can see it later.
yeah.
But it was just
I'll
one
put it in
prompt.
I'll put it in the public chat right now. So
Oh
anyone
yeah,
can go there.
yeah.
Anyone can go and click on it and check it out
Yeah.
locally. Right. So okay. So let me share back. Actually, Derek, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah. So yeah, one second. Just share one second.
So now we're going to do a couple of demos of. So the first one is content preparation because that's what most are asking. Did we get a example of
No.
a topic that we want to use?
Yeah, images of Jesus.
Images of Jesus. So that is images. Uh, so that is images, right? Not like not a topic. Like if you want to give a talk about something, right? So maybe put in the chat.
I'll to share my screen. I'll have to just quit Vivo and come back. Just give me a minute. I'll just be back. I'll just restart Vivo.
Okay, and while you're doing that, Aloysius asked a question: is there a faster way to editing videos using AI? So that is something I'm very interested in finding ways. There are lots of tools I've tried, and it's just not there yet. Like it claims to like automatically get clips of these shorts, YouTube shorts and things like that. It doesn't do a very good job. I found that using tools like what is that, Clipchamp and all of that, even DaVinci Resolve, if you're going more professional, those are still like I would say that Descript is a if you're doing it professionally, Descript is a nice tool that allows you to edit videos using text. You can just like select text and it selects the video that surrounds the text. So that is a that is a thing. But AI is not quite there yet. I think Google also released something a couple of weeks back on editing videos. So Opus Clip is a very good. But I've tried Opus Clip. It's not. I wasn't really happy with the results. But yeah, I've heard of Opus Clip. I think it's the leading software tool to do this is Opus Clip. What it does is it takes a long video, so we could this right now what's being recorded, you could put that into Opus Clip and it would give you clips, 10-minute clips and 1 minute clips and things like that. So okay, so we got a topic, personal prayer. Derek, are you there? Um, if you do have a YouTube channel and you're creating videos, Opus Clip is a good tool to have. Why are you muted? Oh, because I think you left and joined again.
Yeah, Derek joined again.
Okay, now you can. There you go. But Aloysius, I would say it's only a matter of time. It's getting better and better, and it's only a matter of time. Like I said, I think Google. I haven't used it myself, but Google recently came up with a tool where you can put in a video there, and you can edit it using text or whatever. And it's a lot easier. Remove all the silences and the ums and the ahs and all of that. So it has recently came out with that. I think there's a limited length of video, but it's pretty good. Derek, you
Yeah,
ready?
just give me a minute. Sharing the screen.
Yeah. So the tool you're looking for, if you want to go there, so Gemini does most of the work, but if you go to the Google AI Studio, you can do more of the advanced stuff over there, including video editing.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the screen.
Yes.
Okay, so what's a topic we've got to?
Personal prayer.
Person prayer.
Okay, so we are going into the gem there, which is content creation. We're doing the 20 questions one, right? So that's content
Yeah.
creation assistant. Okay, and don't do pro, go to the flash one, because pro takes, first of all, it takes a long time, and second of all,
Yeah,
it's very limited.
so the option to change is out here on top. These are the models, as I said, the assistants. So you take the Flash one, which is the faster one. Pro takes time, but now for the sake of the demo, we are using Flash. So as you say, you play around, see which one works for what task, and you'll get the hang of it over a period of time. Okay. A talk or what?
Talk. It says talk in the chat.
Okay.
And target audience, maybe do we did youth already, but I don't know if you want to say something else. Who would be a good target audience?
For
You can do for the youth only.
Okay, sure.
yeah. For teenagers, can I say?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So now it's giving you 20, but let's not answer all 20. But you can see very good question, right? What was your very first experience with prayer? If you can recall it, what was it like? Right? How did you learn to pray? Was it at home, in church, or somewhere else? What is your understanding of prayer? What is your understanding of what prayer is? Is it talking to God, listening, or something more?
Yeah. So one, one way is to copy this question and then put in your answer. The other way is a shortcut way is to just put the question number and then you can give a response.
And the third way is you just record and do a brain dump of everything.
Yeah. That's there. You want me to demonstrate that?
Yeah, do that. So there is a tool which is one of the feature slides. It's called Super Whisper. So that's what's showing up over there right now. And I think it's cross-platform. Is it cross-platform? We can check that.
Yeah, one sec. I'll just stop this.
But what it does is you spin it up and it's recording whatever you say, and
then
you can just talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll start this tool called Super Whisper. What it does is wherever now my cursor is in this text box, right? So wherever I am, I'll just press whatever the hotkey, and it let uh, I'll just record. Okay, now I'll just be recording after this. So let me just put my response to the first one. My first experience with prayer was when I was in school during a confirmation. They took a session on prayer. And that's where I got the experience. Like, of course, I was brought up with a Catholic background, and I learned to pray. But my first experience of really thinking about prayer was around the time of my confirmation studies, and it was quite a revelation because at that point I was, a teenager, 13 years old, and started to think for myself and reflecting on prayer. So that was a different experience from just doing it out of rote and out of habit and out of obedience to parents and the elders. Now I recorded all that. Now you see everything I said got captured, got translated, and is put here. Now think how beautiful this is, because uh, a lot of our thought process gets obstructed with our typing, if we are not professional typists, okay. And in the day and age, not many of us are. So we can just speak, and all and when we speak, our thoughts are very clear. And the best part is, with AI we can speak extra stuff and it will condense and just take the essential, so we don't have to worry of being very precise. So we can just speak whatever is our response. So I went back and forth. I could have given a very concise answer in just one sentence or two, but I went back and forth about my childhood and where I learned and so on, which actually is quite irrelevant here. He's talking about the first experience, right? So you can afford to do that, and it will distill out all the extra stuff, or you could just edit it here and say, hey, this is extra. I don't want to get into uh, all the stuff that was not necessary. So yeah.
So yeah,
So
so you do the dump. Yeah, you do the dump there, and then you would click. This is only the first question, but you could. Sometimes what I do is I don't really put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just do one of these dumps, and especially if I'm going for a walk, there's no time to record the first one and then record the second one. I just look at it, and I could do two at a time or three at a time, and I just give it a dump of everything. So maybe take out number one from the beginning and just assume that this is like, you're answering everything, right? And
okay.
then send this off.
Okay, let's assume this is the response we get. Other, it'll go take a long time. So just to...
Yeah. Okay, so there's your draft, right?
So here, how it starts. So I remember being about 13, and the time I was preparing for confirmation up until then, and so it kind of comes up across as my voice and my me talking. Only thing I've not typed it out, but it's my thoughts that are gone there. So this is the way we can tailor our content to be personalized, as well as use the power of AI. We have the best of both worlds. So this is about
Cool.
this thing, yeah.
Then the
And
next one is the slides preparation. So here, what we can do is maybe I'll do it since I have Obsidian.
okay. Yeah, I just want to show one more. Can I show
Sure.
one more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a practical thing. Like in April during Lent, in St. Patrick's in Pune, we had a series of talks, 6 talks called "Defending the Faith." And then the fathers over there were going to take the talks, and at literally the last moment, father calls us and asks, can you help us out with these talks? And we ask, how would you like us to help? And he said, you know what, I had in mind that after every talk, there should be, like, we're talking about apologetics. So, on different aspects about the church, papacy, Marian doctrine, and so on and so forth. So he's saying after each one, I want to have a skit, and a skit of 10 minutes after the talk. Now, I think we had just 1 week before the first talk to go, and to write a skit, and to get the app people, and to rehearse it, it would take time normally. So I created a prompt, and I got it to generate. So I did this scenario of sit downs. Okay, so there's one Catholic person, and there's a non-Catholic, or there's a fallen away Catholic, or there's a child, or there's a husband who's not strong in his faith, and so they're asking each other question based on that theme. So all of them will sit down, but on a different perspective. So here I created this script. I'll show you the gem quickly. See. So I said this talk will be followed by a 10-minute dramatization that brings the talk's core message of life to real world scenarios. And for each talk, create a series of scenarios grounded in setting for a discussion, such as a dinner table conversation and so on. And these are the categories: practicing Catholics, lukewarm Protestants, Hindus, Muslims, atheists, agnostics, friends, families, and then include a narrator and so on. So this is what the gem is. Now what I will do is I've got the outline of a talk. So I will just take this. Give me a minute. Yeah, that's one. Okay, so this is a session called Form and Faith. So I say college cafeteria scene with a Catholic student and a non-Catholic friend. Okay, that's it. So I just hit enter. It will go through the whole talk. And here it has created 2 scenarios for a 5-minute dramatization set in a college cafeteria. Core message: faith is a gift from God. Scenario 1 and scenario 2. Okay, then you can say create provide the dialogues. Too. So here actually it tells who are the people. There's Rohan and Priya back in the cafeteria scrolling through their phones during a short break.
So
Provide.
I think
Yeah.
the pattern is the same, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
like
pattern is the
you have
same.
to
Yeah, it
go.
will create the this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and the
So this is
narrator
just
comes in and
another
whatever.
idea
Yeah,
of like what you can
of
use
doing.
it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think let's give some time for questions also. But
Actually, I just want to. I think there's one of the things that we said is transcription. Can you quickly demonstrate that
yeah. Sure.
YouTube? I think that's a quick way of showing how to use it.
Yeah. So
YouTube or WhatsApp?
yeah. So
Correct.
Super Whisper unfortunately is only for the Mac. But there is this was the one I was talking about. It's called aistudio.google.com, right? And so it's also free. I don't have a paid credits or anything like that. But if you go into chat, what you can do is you can upload even a YouTube video. And the good thing about this is We've seen lots of examples of, you have a YouTube video, you copy the link, you can put it in ChatGPT and say, summarize this video. That's a very common thing. But what you can do with this AI Studio is it actually watches the video, right? So especially if you have visual, what was so and so wearing, or what were, some of the images or whatever, it actually watches through the entire video. But you could also say, transcribe this audio, right? And then you can just upload the actual file. Uh, I don't have a file here, but if there was a file, you could, and as you can say, transcribe, and it gives you the text of that file, right? Same thing with video. You can drag and drop a video file, and it does that. So take a look at this if you want to get a little more technical. This is a important thing. And then this, I would say, it's a no-brainer. Everyone should do it, right? It's called TurboScribe, and so you could go for the paid one if you want to, but you can again browse files and run it here itself, and you can browse any of these MP3, MP4, whatever, and it even video files, audio files, and it gives you the transcript of that. But what I love about this, what I use all the time, is the WhatsApp uh, app. Okay, so you got to sign up for a free account, and then looking for the WhatsApp uh,
Integration.
integration. Yeah.
I
So
think if you can share, I don't know, yeah.
yeah, I'll
WhatsApp
show you
screen.
there WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically a user, and you add it to your WhatsApp account. So this is how you can use it. You get, if you add this contact to your WhatsApp group, you get three users a day for free. Okay. So Derek, I'm going to open WhatsApp. I've got my WhatsApp over here
Yeah.
online. Send me a voice message, because people send voice messages all the time on WhatsApp, right? So send me a voice message about whatever, something.
Okay. Hey, Justin, just wanted to check on you if you've got the slides for the next presentation that we have next week. Let me know where they are. Just share the link, if possible. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So I'm going to open my WhatsApp, and wait, I've got an infinite loop going on. No, here, this one. Okay. So I've got his message here, and I'm going to forward this to, forward, and I'm going to forward it to TurboScribe. Okay, so that's one of my contacts. Second, I'm forwarding the voice message to someone, right? So the moment you do that, you get a thumbs up automatically, right? I'm not doing anything, and then you get, got it. We're working on it. Okay, and then it takes 10 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe. Look at that. No, not yet.
No, that's the earlier message.
Transcript is ready. There you go. See, so it always gets my name wrong, but other than that, here you go. Right. So you can get an idea of, and I use this a lot, especially if someone sends me a voice message and I cannot really take the call, I cannot really listen to it. Uh, I forward it to TurboScribe, and then I get the text, and then I know what's happening, right? So I use it all the time. You get 3 a day for free. I almost never use the 3. You can also, another quick, this thing of TurboScribe is sending yourself a voice note. Go to yourself,
And that's
your own
the
contact.
earlier message of the one you sent me. You recorded it, transcribed it, and
Yes,
pasted it to
that's
me.
what I did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do voice notes like that, and I don't think it has a limit. I've gone even like I think 20 minutes. I think was the longest I've done, and it does it no problem. So that's like a no-brainer. Everyone should do it. If you do it often enough, maybe you can consider getting the
Basically.
the paid thing. Okay, so won't do this because the approach is basically the same. So you can say I'm planning a 3-day youth conference in Mumbai for Catholic ages 15 to 18. Ask me questions to understand my requirements, including details on the venue, speakers, timetable, etc. And then follow that same thing, right? Follow the answer the questions, and yeah. So that part is the same. Let's see what else. Yeah, we
Transcribing
looked
is
at
done.
this. So this is TurboScribe, what I just mentioned. Super Whisper is Mac only. If you have a Mac, you can use it. If you don't have a Mac, then
Yeah. So that's what
use
I
the
demonstrated when I recorded that
yeah
small response. So you could
yeah
use Super Whisper, or there'll be tools for we'll try to give you one of the tools that will be available on the on Windows as well. But if you're using a Mac, then Super Whisper is a no-brainer, and it's
yeah.
free. It's got a paid version, but the free is there.
Free does a
Um,
pretty good job. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Uh, Mini apps. So we'll end with this. Derek's show off project.
No, no. So the idea here is to take our presentation to the next level. So we have seen that adding in audio, adding in animation, adding in video, at the right places really enhances the teaching. That we give. So one of the things that most people couldn't do till date was to use something more interactive. So sometimes what happens, especially when you're giving a teaching which is where you have to go back and forth with slides, it becomes very difficult to create those slides and go back and forth and explain a concept. And those kind of times you could do with a new kind of medium, and that's where this mini apps concept comes. I mean, it's actually Jason's idea to have the mini apps in the presentation, and I uh, I created this. Now today, if there are a lot of these AI tools, we have got those links in that big slide of us. So there are sites like v0.dev, lovable.dev, bolt.new, and there are a few more which let you create these apps now without really knowing how to code. All you need is a prompt. So I will share with you. I will show you the application that was created with just one prompt, and the detailed prompt will be shared in a PDF later, where we have generated some 25 different ideas for these apps, which you can just take and paste it into one of these sites and get to use them. They have a free tier which is limited, but you can. I generated this app which I'm going to show you in just one prompt, and within 7 to 8 minutes it was done. And let me show it to you, and then I'll tell you how long it would have taken if it was hand coded.
And so while he's getting that, so the reason for this, what we're saying is, uh, remember I mentioned like we go to up our game because now we can create, we have access to these tools that we didn't have access 4 or 5 years ago. And so if you wanted to talk about the Ignatian, instead of having slides, boring old slides, or even the image generation ones, you can just have an interactive. Imagine if you had a web page that was meant specifically for the talk, right? So this is what this is what it came up with.
Yeah, so this is like the whole Ignatian, what to say, spiritual discipline. And say you're taking a talk on this, and you want to go through the whole process. You would have lots of slides, and then you'll also have certain activities, some introspection going on over there. So this is an app which could be used in the middle of. You could kind of stop at a slide and then open up this app and show how it works. Now here is helping people understand what is their current state of mind. You know, there's a concept of journaling over there. So you can this thing. So you can specify. Okay, are you feeling anxious, or do you have clarity? You can click on that, and this needle moves there. And here you can see there's a heart rate thing also happening here. So there are a lot of visual things that are taking place. So you can make this see the interactions. This would be next to impossible to get it to done in PowerPoint. Okay, and here this has multiple levels. Now this is one, and then you have something called as the journey mode. In a journey mode, there is like how you've gone from one to another, and so on. So you can even log how you feel. How did you feel? First started confusion, anxiety, and so on. So this is basically, it's not an app which people will be using, but someone who's taking the session would show like how a person moves from one state of state of mind to another. Then it also has a comparison mode where if someone is faced with a situation, and if they have choice A and choice B, how does it make them feel for each one of them? Oh, I feel anxious here, and I have confusion here in choice B. So all these are tools which can be here. Also, there are case studies like, okay, what do you want to do? You want to do a relationship discernment and show states in the journey. What is your state? Okay, desolation. Okay, so it automatically shows that state. And then there is definitions here. Okay, so you have spiritual. This app has some bugs because this was one shot. In typical processes, you will go through several iterations to say, hey, this works, this doesn't work, this has to be done better, or I want to see something else. Okay, so I've made this only in one shot to show you that
By the way, one shot.
yeah,
Define what
one
one shot means.
one shot
One.
means one prompt, just one prompt. It created this. Now, if I had to program this, or Jason had to program this without AI manually, Jason, how long would it?
Oh, this would be like my. This would be like a sum up 2 month project
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. If a 2 month, just
Easily.
imagine this is a 2 month project which got done in 10 minutes. So today we have that power of AI that is helping anyone who even doesn't know to code create apps like this. And all you have to do is, once you have this basic program application running, you just continue the prompt, just like how you fine tune, go iterate, go back and forth with your content. The same way you go back and forth with your app saying, hey, I want this option, I want that option, and you get it to a state where it's ready, and then you can use it as part of your demonstration. So I've created a few quickly. I will not go into detail about them, but I just wanted to show you, like, this is quite comprehensive for the first shot that it made it. There are so I'll show you two more quickly. So one is called a Creed Explorer. So here it goes through the articles of the creed, gives you this could like replace 5 or 6 different slides, and in each slide, English, what is the Latin, what is the Greek, all that is covered here. And here there's also a timeline, how the creed was developed, you know, this historical timeline, and they have a mind map view and so on. So this is one version. Then I gave two different sites the same prompt, like how we did one in Gemini and one in for the image. We did one in ChatGPT. I did that with two. So then I came up. The other one came with this interactive element of the creed, and it also, like, here the heresies which it addressed, Arianism and so on. So there's a lot of things you can. And if when you click something, the description comes here in the right, and so on. So when you're taking a session based on your needs, you could go through this whole. You could create apps like these and have them augment your sessions. And lastly, so this also has some flaws right now, but I wanted to keep it raw so that you all know that this, like, it's when you try, you're also going to have some issues, and you have to fine tune it. Otherwise, if I would have created a polished product and you would try and you would not get it right, you'd say, hey, I can't figure this out. So it's just like AI prompting for normal content. It's here, we learn through the process. There's one more on the rosary. It was a whole 3D thing which you can rotate here, but it's kind of broken. It's not really working. In the sense, nothing works beyond this other than the mysteries showing up on these placards, and that also not properly. So I have to fix that up. But I wanted to keep it as is, just to show you that this is one prompt. Yeah, see, this one I can show you the prompt because I'm in the editor. So this is a whole prompt which I got one of the AI tools only to generate for me. So I asked for an innovative idea around the rosary. One AI gave it to me. I went to the second AI and I generated it. Just like we generated the image, I generated the app. So this opens up a whole what do you say, new avenue to teach people. the sky is the limit with this. This is what I've shown you is just like a first like a one set of thing. So we put together some 25 ideas in a PDF which we'll share with you.
Okay, and then continuing with that, so this is another thing you can do in Gemini, right? So if you look at this, I said create an app that teaches the Beatitudes in an engaging, fun way. I did this while Derek was talking. It took literally like 2 minutes, and it came up with this, right? So this is something where you can, I don't know. It's just it's an interactive type of a thing. So this is more like for teaching, right? If you're teaching, you can come up with a dedicated app, and you can actually share this. You can say
Yeah,
share.
it would be a follow up for a talk. You given a teaching,
Yeah,
and this is a follow up for someone to
like a
learn a
revision or
revision or an
something.
extension of whatever
Yeah.
the talk covered.
And then
More
here I
detail.
said create a mini app that teaches the periodic table in an engaging way. I know it's not faith related, but it's just to show it's still doing that, taking a while. But and this is also free. I mean, it's using the pro. It is technically the pro account, but I'm using the 2.5 Flash, which the free account has as well. So whatever your ministry is, whatever you're teaching, whatever your if you're teaching or whatever, this is something where you can think about and get creative with this, right? How can you explain something or be more engaging in a creative way? So is it shareable? Yes, it is. So let me share that. Share shareable link copied, and then if I go into incognito, so I could be basically anyone in the world. There you go. So I'm not even signed in, and I can access the app, right? So create these apps. You can, you don't even need to know. Here's the code behind it, but you don't need to know any of this. I didn't write a line of this stuff, right? I don't even need to see it. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. See that? This
So you
is
could
all
create
I said
something for
was,
a scripture theme on a
yeah.
particular topic. You could create something like this for people to follow up and
And all I said was, and this is remember I mentioned the thing that is not original and all of that, the question answer thing. That's what we're doing over here. And so you can imagine, even with uh
even
yeah,
with
look at this.
mini app, you can go through 20 questions. You can go through the
Yeah,
brainstorming
yes,
prompt gems and
yeah.
get it into a
Get
very tight
something,
app
yeah.
prompt, and then you can just uh,
Yeah, you can say like
unleash it on the world.
I want to create a mini app to help people help students learn the periodic table in a creative way. Ask me 20 questions about what the app should be like or something like that, right? So by all means do that, right? We're just showing you this because it's like imagine with just one sentence you can come up with something like this and share it with anyone. How much more, if you actually put in the effort to do it. So this is called vibe coding. It's basically coding without writing a line of code, and you just tell it to do stuff. So yeah, cool. Okay. Uh, then yeah, I already showed
Yeah,
that
I've done
one.
that also, yeah.
Cool. So now opening it up for discussions, questions.
Hmm.
I haven't seen the chat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've caught up. Where will these apps be hosted? So Google hosts them. Google Gemini. It's on their site. It's free. You can get the source code if you are technical and you have some software background. You can run it locally. You can host it yourself if you like. But if you're not technical, just say share and send the link to people.
So
And
these
all of these.
sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So these you also have to consider if you're non-techie, okay? If you're non-technical, consider these to be like disposable apps, like how you would create a PPT for a talk,
Yeah.
and probably you would use it whenever the talk need for the talk comes again, or if it's a one-off talk, then you never need the PPT again, right? So same thing with these apps. You would create, and the links will be there. They're not going to go anywhere. those links will be there. But it's not going to be like a business app where you need to back up the data and you have to keep it on a site which is not accessible by others and so on. So how long will they host it? I think if you log in frequently to those services, they keep it unless you have like logged in today and then for the next 2 years, then they clean out because there are millions of people doing it.
So
So
one
it costs
thing
them.
one thing to realize is the apps that they're creating here are very cheap to host. They don't. It doesn't contain. It doesn't contain. It doesn't contain. It doesn't take much to. It's not like there's a database and there's storage and all of that. So it's a very small from Google's perspective. So they could potentially host it forever and
I
it
think
would
their
cost them
largest
nothing.
cost was the cost to generate this app.
Yeah,
The
it's
everything after
way
that is
more.
just storage. Like it's
Is
low cost
It's
storage
peanuts. Yeah.
shared among billions of different applications. So for them, the
Yeah, so
incremental
they
cost.
would be it would be much more expensive for them to host your Gmail free Gmail account than it would be for them to host these sites, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's nothing. They just absorb the cost. So you could say practically forever. Uh, So, I mean, we're open to unmuting people. If you want to, I'll change this to a classroom mode. So now anyone can unmute themselves if you want to, you
Ask any
know,
questions. So without
ask
having
any
to type.
questions
Yeah.
or comments or what is your experience?
I would just like to encourage everyone, like, to join that group, which the link which is shared by Joseph. So what we do over there is we share our ideas, and people ask questions. I like to do this, so and so. Is there any AI tool? Or how do I go about it? And especially something like these apps where most people are not familiar with creating apps. You could ask question like, "Is this possible?" And especially with Justin and me around, we can definitely tell you what is possible, what is not, and how to go about it, and so on and so forth. So
The other thing
yeah.
I would say is that Derek and I have access to, because we do this full time, we have access to these pro tools. If you just, want a one-off thing, you can just ask us. And someone priest had come up with this term. It's called penance-ware. So penance-ware is it's basically like you just, say a short prayer for us, and we'll do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so happy to do that. If you want us to create a mini app or
Yeah.
um, like because we'd have the tools. I mean, assuming it's a mini app.
Yeah. Sunil,
Uh,
we'll be sharing the recording of the webinar in the group, and along with all the other material that we have, we will be sharing. So anyone has any question, anything not covered, which you all had in mind? Maybe you can quickly address or give pointers to you all on it. There's so much more to do. In fact, so time is always less, and we exceeded our time, I think, by quite a lot. Um, so yeah, if there are no more queries, then we can close our session.
sure.
Joseph, anything from your side? Any queries?
No,
Anything
no,
that
no,
we?
no.
We would also like feedback. What do you think about the
Yes,
session,
yes.
and what are your plans for using this? Yeah.
Yeah, please give your full feedback. It's going to be very useful for our future sessions.
It was an excellent session. Thank you so much, because I think we can use all these things that you have taught us, and we can use it for our catechism classes and for
Most
our
definitely.
yes. And but we need to try it out because we have not done these things. So we might need your help in between where we are stuck.
Sure. Just put it up, join the group, and just
Yeah.
Yes,
whenever you get
yes,
stuck, just post a query. even if we are slow in responding, maybe sometimes we don't look at the group for a couple of days or whatever, we will definitely respond for
Yes.
sure. And that's it's
And
a
for
passion.
the
Yeah,
especially for mini apps, I would say, like, it would be fun to even like just post ideas, because we're
oh,
always looking for good ideas. We can create it, and we can make a directory of all of that, and then you can use it for free. Use it for, share it with
yeah,
people, share it with
with
a group.
with each other, right?
Yes,
And
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it is
Because what
really
we're looking,
excellent. Yeah.
because
Thank
very
you so
often, like,
much. It's
yeah,
been
welcome.
so informative, this whole session. There's so much to learn. You've opened the eyes to such a wide new area.
Glad,
Welcome,
glad, glad,
welcome.
glad.
God
That's
bless
been a
you all. God bless
thank
you.
you. God
Thank
bless.
you.
God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, very often we want ideas, creative ideas and all of that. So we have we have underutilized AI tools that if you have, like, mini apps, use cases, I like to teach this or that, or you know, please share it in that group, and we can come up with
Yeah, even
uh,
last minute ideas. You have some
yeah.
program and something has come up,
Yes.
and you desperately need some help to finish off something. We'll give you
Yeah.
tips and tricks and help you, go across the finishing line. And
So
I
kind.
think most of us find ourselves in that situation more often than not,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of being
And,
able
and
to
for other
utilize
things
it.
also, right? Even
Yeah.
generating images or something like that. Someone in the group will have a pro account for something, right? So instead of paying for a month just to get just to use it for something small,
Right.
just put it in the group. Someone will help out for sure.
Sure.
Are
Yeah.
you going
Yeah.
to have a WhatsApp group so we can communicate with each other?
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
we've been sharing in the
In
chat.
the link,
Please,
yeah,
please
yeah.
join that. That's called Bible Study with AI.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I've sent
I just
again.
wanted one question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On this, can we use Copilot also of Microsoft?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sure, sure. Do you have a Office license, or you're using just
No, I have
Copilot?
a paid subscription for
Okay,
Microsoft, so I
okay.
have this Copilot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do I use that? Is that also in the same way?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You can create images. You can create these. You can put these prompts, and it will give you the content accordingly.
So
Uh,
Copilot would help you most if you want to work with Microsoft apps like Excel and Word and
and
all that.
PowerPoint. It works
PowerPoint.
within PowerPoint.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so I use PPTs for my presentations and also can
Mm.
they create the PPTs and all? Can Copilot create PPTs for me?
yeah, it
I
should. See, there are a couple of actually Microsoft has many licenses under the same brand as Copilot, which is very confusing. But there is one Microsoft 365 Copilot, which comes with which is for people who already have an Office license. They buy that. It's an add-on,
Mm.
and with that you'll be able to use Copilot with your PowerPoint. So you can tell, please create a slide for a slide with this description. This is the content, and this is what I want to see in the graphic, and so on, and it will create that.
So I can't paste the content and ask them to create, right?
No, you paste it into Copilot and
Uh-huh.
tell it that update my so you if you have this Copilot license, then within when you open PowerPoint, within it you will have a chat window for
Yes.
Copilot,
Yes, it
right?
has.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you paste your content, you say slide so and so, just update it
Okay,
with
I'll
this.
try that. I'll try.
You
I'll try.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
go through YouTube. There will be some videos which very specifically give you a whole tutorial on how to use Copilot with PowerPoint. So you'll get to know the nuances of it. I mean, I unfortunately I've just recently got access to it, but I've not used it. I've underutilized it. But we don't we use now, because this AI. We are not using PowerPoint as such. Yeah, but try it out. And I've got the license. So in case you have any problems, post it in the group, and I'll try it out on my end, and give you my feedback and how to do
Okay.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Derek.
Most welcome.
Wonderful session and it's been very helpful. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Fiona.
welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Uh, Dominic and Aloysius, you said you would like to do something deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Can you define that? What is that bit deeper for another session? Exactly on which area
Well,
you
no, the
mean?
idea is basically, see, we are just new into this whole system of AI. And if we start something, there's always a possibility that we might get stuck. And, and when you try to dwell on this mode and try to create a much better presentation or a fill up,
Hmm.
because it's not easy, because we are just starters.
No,
Yeah.
no,
So
no worries, Dominic. You
the
just
question is,
post your queries in the chat group,
yeah,
and we'll give you pointers and help you. And the main
So
thing is just dive in, try it, and
yeah, that's correct.
it's
Otherwise,
so
you'll
very
you
never
know,
learn.
yeah.
yeah. So we
Never
have
learn.
been considering doing this more regularly. Like this is like, jam packed, whatever, 2 hours, 2.5 hours now. It's just jam packed. It would be nice to like focus on one particular thing, and maybe not have 2 hours, maybe just have an hour.
Yeah,
But
that
go
will
And
in
be
detail on
nice.
one topic. Yeah.
yeah, detail in one topic, maybe do a walkthrough, and then whoever's interested can join. We could record it and the same type of thing, right? And then you could post your questions, or you want us to focus on creating a special mini app about some particular thing, and we can actually walk through the entire process, and you could follow along, maybe, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Most
Could be
happy. Thank you so much.
One thing which I could suggest is, might be, we meet might be once in 2 months or something, and a little project has been assigned by you all in the WhatsApp group. So that gives us a chance to get into the deeper ocean. In the grind to do it.
Yeah.
Might be we learn a lot of things, and we can throw in questions afterwards when we meet, and then that particular
Hmm.
session dwells on that particular aspect rather than to go into the whole thing.
The
Yeah.
best thing would probably be is something that you already have in hand. Like suppose you're involved in teaching or events. See,
Hmm.
we are all here because we are serving in some way or
Correct.
the other, or we want to do
Correct.
some study. So take one of those areas upcoming, say something coming up in the next month or next 2 months or whatever, and
Okay.
start thinking like, okay, last year I did it this way. What can I do different? Or so I was lacking in this area, or I couldn't do much because we had only this much time and these many resources at hand. So how could we do it better? And you could share your thoughts, and then we can go back and forth, and that could be a project. So what will happen at the end of the day? You will do stuff which you're going to use rather than it just being a theoretical exercise. I would
Very
rather
valid. Very
you
valid.
know
Yeah.
you
Very
yeah.
valid.
So we are happy to go back and forth and nudge you in the right direction, flesh it out, and this thing. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Derek and Joseph.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro, Joseph.
No problem.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the recording will
could
be
I
in the
say
group.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Derek,
please.
may I, am I, okay. This is definitely not from ChatGPT, but I just noted it down as the talk went along. I like to say that when it began, the talk, I realized that I'm definitely a no-brainer. Okay. Absolutely pun intended, no-brainer, because most of it was kind of going over my head. I
Hmm.
wanted to dump the meeting, but then I got hooked. And that prompted me to stay on. And all I can say is no marks down, but a big thumbs up.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you. Glad that you stuck around. And please join the WhatsApp group. The resources will all be shared. And anything you have, please feel free. And it's just not just two of us. There are others who are non-techies, who are really AI hands-on, like Brother Joseph here, and there are others in the group as
Yeah,
well.
Vijayan, Captain Vijayan is also there. He
Oh
creates a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of.
yeah, 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 yeah. He's very very much into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nirmala, you would like to ask a question? You've raised your hand. You can unmute yourself. Nirmala?
Must be an accident. Like,
Okay.
oh, she's there. She's there. Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think
anyone
that's good
else?
enough.
Yeah.
So,
I think pretty
so
much.
should we close? Would anybody volunteer to make a closing prayer? Frida?
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
Father
thank you.
God, I just thank you for the way you have worked through this social media platform, teaching us so much, Lord. I pray a blessing upon both our resource people, and I pray that more laborers will come in and we will learn more how to harvest for your kingdom. Bless us with your wisdom and bless them, Lord. Bless both our resource people, Jerson and Derek and Joseph, for making this happen, especially today, where the gospel is about Martha and Mary. In a way, we've learned through this session how to be both Martha and Mary, using the tools that you have given us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Okay. Thank you,
God
everyone.
bless. Good
Thank
night.
you.
God
God
bless.
bless.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you,
Good
brother.
night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Good
much
night.
Thank you.
for all your valuable time. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.